thank you for having me. Your
Not a problem.
lovely abode.
Welcome to the Marzoni compound.
Love it, love it.
I and yes, you did hear Angel. I did that just because I was feeling a bit of a Marilyn Monroe vibe.
Oh, I'm not going to judge you for having Angel.
But anyway,
She's fun. She's fun to have around. I don't hate on
yeah,
Angel.
she's fun.
She's a good time.
And then
So, to kind of introduce tonight's episode, my first introduction to ancient mythology was reading the Odyssey in 7th grade English. In that class, we had a large final assignment where we had to memorize an acronym for what makes a hero. It was MOPSFIB, or MOPS Fib, which stood for morals, optimism, perseverance, strength, faith, intelligence, and bravery. This has obviously been stamped into my memory until even today, but my question then and my question now is, what about the anti-hero? Does that character hold the opposite qualities? If so, what does it mean to the story? And what are we supposed to learn from it? These are the questions we'll be discussing at the Digital Campfire today on episode 3, The Anti-Hero Took Over. And hello, welcome Paul Marzoni. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
yep, you are pronouncing that correctly.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful. What I like to do is a little opening ritual with my guest. I had asked you earlier to
hmm
bring either a
hmm
drink, a snack, or both. What did you bring today? What did you bring?
well, nothing but for me. But
That's okay.
anyway, like I said, I'm here to do the interview and pretty much give a lot of people knowledge on the mafia com and kind of like the real history because a lot of the new generation, in my opinion, are kind of blind to
Mm-hmm.
the scenario
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't know the history with the community and it's like okay, how is this gonna work, but I'm just here to educate people about the real history about the community.
Well,
Not.
I love that. How about this? How about
hmm
if you had to pick a meal or a drink or some kind of libation to represent what that history
Marzoni
means to
is.
you? You know what
Well,
I mean? Would it be a
thing is,
Chianti? Would it...
no, it wouldn't be a Chianti. I mean, it would either be, a nice cold soda, just
Okay.
cold soda, water, anything
Keep
of
it
that. 'Cause
fresh.
yeah, because I
Keep your head
usually
on
drink
straight.
when I'm offline. Yeah, when I'm offline, that's when I drink. Because I have a strict rule because of a small experience that happened on PS4.
Mm.
I don't go on GTA and drink
Hey.
because one time I accidentally declared war on an ally, and then they were like, "Hey, what the fuck's this?" I was like, "Oh, I just don't."
And it started many months of problems for you.
Well, no, it started like one day, and then that was it. And they're like,
Okay,
"Oh yeah, you were
okay.
drunk." No, no, I was
You
like,
were
"Okay, never
forgiven.
again,
Your
never
sins were
again."
forgiven. Okay.
Yeah, pretty
All
much.
right. And speaking as someone who I used to party a lot. I used to drink plenty.
hmm
But someone approaching 40 and just for my family's life
Yeah,
and everything,
I'm.
we've had to
Yeah,
cut alcohol out. So I get it.
yeah,
I
I'm.
get it.
I'm approaching 30, so I'm right
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Um,
You gotta make some boundaries sometimes with that stuff.
yeah, some sacrifices. Some sacrifices. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, with the community at large, it's changed drastically
Mm-hmm.
from my era.
Yeah.
And I've been called old head, idiot or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, look, between you and me, I'm like, look, guys, I was around during the era where everything was good, and the
Mm.
golden years, and they think, oh, you're too obsessed with the past and all this. I'm like, no, 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 no. Y'all were playing Call of Duty while we were fucking kicking ass. That's how I see it.
Ah. I get
That's
it.
how
I
my
get where you're coming
that's how
from.
I see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in my viewpoint, because this is what I tell every Don that if any new Dons are listening or aspiring Dons or whatever, when you're playing GTA and your headset goes on, you're like Robert De Niro or Al Pacino or Joe Pesci. You
Hmm.
are an actor. You are an actor. You are not a mobster yourself. You're
Mm-hmm.
when the
Mm-hmm.
headset goes on, you're that character. You
I
take that
appreciate that.
persona and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's what I do because I've seen people they get totally absorbed with their character, their persona, and it's like, and I've heard of things from the Gigantes on down that I remember an associate that I heard of years ago actually robbed the store and got shot
Right.
and died. And
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like
like, what the? I was like,
the
what the
Heath
hell is
Ledger
going on?
method acting gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how it went. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, because
It's not worth that. Yeah.
it's never worth it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Mm-hmm.
worth it at all. Like I don't really condone that because, like I say to my guys all the time, it's just a game. We kick ass, we get off, we do our personal lives, we come back in. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Door's always open. Now, when it comes to how the Marzoni Famiglia does things, we're very closed booked on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't announce our moves because actions speak louder than words. I was taught early on,
Right. Right. Right.
and you know, a lot of these families like to IG bang and all this. And they're like, oh, Rockstar cares about me. They're gonna put me on Newswire. Here's the thing: I got the email from Rockstar. They're shutting down Social Club for GTA 6.
Like
From
the
and
Rockstar Instagram.
the news wire, yeah, the news wire and shit. Because I had
Mm.
emailed them. I said to them, I said, "Are you still doing crew promotion?" And they said, "No, we're not doing crew promotion.
Oh,
We're
interesting.
we're shutting down Newswire and all this stuff." And I was like, "Okay, that's it." You know what I mean? So,
That does make me
eh,
wonder what they're bringing instead.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Oh, we'll keep everybody informed and all this stuff."
There's going to be something. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
And so the kind of theme to today's episode is anti-hero, which
hmm
to me the most like common modern examples of this would be like a Han Solo or a Deadpool,
hmm
right?
Right.
But earlier you were talking about Scarface being your favorite movie
hmm
and just having watched
And
it last night.
right,
Okay, not favorite movie, but
not favorite movie.
But
Like I have a lot of favorites.
but
It's
I
just
could
one of
see
them.
Scarface as the anti-hero. He at least starts as the
Yeah.
anti-hero before
Right.
he becomes a villain.
Mm, right. I mean, my viewpoint is this, like, because I have a lot of favorite IRL mob bosses. One of them
Hmm.
being Carlo Gambino, which I try to model my character after, not physically, but just mentality wise.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because Carlo Gambino once said, "You have to be like a lion and a fox. You know, a fox recognizes traps, and a lion is strong enough to hold off against the wolves. Be like those two animals, and no one can ever beat you."
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's the mentality that I've come in with to to running the Marzoni Famiglia, to going after our enemies, stuff like that. Because to me, when it comes to anti-heroes, I mean, I think Carlo Gambino was an anti-hero unto himself, because you never really saw him walking around with the associates, doing hits, stuff like that, because he knew where his place was. It
Hmm.
was, okay, I'm going to sit in the house, I'm going to, run the family, and that's it. And he had his underboss, his consigliere, his capos and all that stuff run things through him, which was great up to a certain point. But I think Carlo Gambino, because a lot of people think, oh, Lucky Luciano and Al Capone and all that.
Hmm.
No one thinks to, in my viewpoint, go on to YouTube, type in mobsters, watch a mafia documentary before coming into this community,
That's
because
fair. Yeah.
they think it's like, okay, we're gonna do a bunch of shit, and oh, it's just gonna be like the movies. No. In GTA, there's a lot of physical barriers, as it were, in the community,
Hmm.
and like some people, like for example, in real life, the the mob's basically kind of like dying down with the whole FBI, FIB shit, because everybody knows Donnie Brasco. You know what I mean? Everybody
Hmm.
knows Donnie Brasco. Everybody knows, you know, Joe Valachi, the people who ratted, right?
Hmm.
So when it comes to anti-heroes, my favorite anti-hero besides Scarface would have to be Don Vito Corleone,
Okay.
because Vito just, he has that sort of steadiness in him, because it's
Hmm.
like, okay, nobody knows what I'm thinking. because in Godfather 1 he says he slaps Sonny in the face. He goes, "Never tell anybody outside the family what you're thinking again."
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I always go by that. Another one of my favorite IRL mob bosses was Jewish gangster Meyer Lansky.
I've heard the
And
name.
personally, I go by one of his sayings, and one of his sayings goes a little bit like this: when you lose when you lose your health, you lose something. When you lose your money, you lose nothing. But when you lose your character, you lose everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's a
No,
personal.
that's right on brand with what we do around here. No,
Mhm,
that fits. That tracks.
exactly.
Well, and yeah, you wouldn't have known a lot of like because one, I haven't finished editing episode two, but that's kind of been the themes so far in episode one and two. So that's right. Like I said,
Right.
that's right on track. Of I think
Right.
a lot of what I've explored so far is, morality, and through telling that story comes down to one, the
Mhm.
society judging the group or person or hero or anti-hero, whatever. A lot of
Right.
that changes depending on the perception. So, like in this scenario, we're talking about mafia bosses. I think a lot of them
Mhm.
um, kind of have like this Robin Hood image to certain
Mhm.
people. Like the communities they actually feed their own communities,
Mhm.
whereas the rest of the world is like, oh, look at that nasty thug group over there. But
Mhm.
to the actual people that they benefit, like they're the Robin Hoods, you know.
Right.
So,
Because I mean, look at John Gotti. I mean,
mm-hmm.
John Gotti would be like another good example. To everybody, he's like, oh, he ruined the mob. But to other people, it's like, oh, he helps, with community centers and all that sort of
Right.
stuff.
People
I mean,
forget.
Frank Lucas,
Yep.
Frank Lucas, same deal. But thing is with me is that I never, and I go by the Vegas rule, right? You never cross the invisible line.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever stays on GTA, whatever is said on GTA, done, whatever stays on GTA. You don't cross that invisible line and it bleeds into
Don't
real
talk about
life.
Fight Club kind of thing too.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Another anti-hero, Tyler Durden, while we're talking about
Right.
it.
Yep. Yeah, I've never seen Fight Club, but one move,
Gasparilla.
but one, but one movie that my one of my members actually wants me to see. I'm not a really big fan about slapstick comedy, but
Mm-hmm.
Joe Dirt. I'm like, dude, I don't really want to watch this movie. Like, don't make
there's
me watch it.
there's some philosophical stuff in that movie from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's like,
There's
don't make me
some
watch it, please.
right,
Um,
right.
but like with a lot of people, like I mean, people consider me an anti-hero, a villain, whatever,
It's a
however,
fine line, right?
whatever, shakes your fancy, kind of a deal, right?
Whoever's watching the story, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people go, oh, he's a guy beyond his times, get out of here. Da, da, da. Well, I go by the old, I treat people how the way they treat me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're gonna try to be like, oh yeah, we're friends, we're allies, and you jump one of my boys, I will retaliate in kind. If you're a chill dude and I can talk with you and negotiate, I'm chill with you. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Or if my consigliere says something, or my consigliere says something, my UB says something, street boss, whatever the case, I don't really look at it as me being the villain. I look at it as me being a little bit of a rebel. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I never really, because with the new generation, I'm the old guard. I like sticking to my guns.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the rules that I brought in with the new LCN was everybody was complaining about PSN ID changes for wax, right?
Ah, the old $10 if you get whacked
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
I
Yep.
know
Yep.
these rules.
And I had said to people, I'm like, guys, I'm like, good. I'm like, look, this is one thing I'm gonna say, but a lot of families, I'm like, look, Xbox guys are coming over, they're coming in. I don't know what they're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
coming over, coming in, whatever the case, because Xbox right now, their community's going down shit's creek without a paddle,
It does
right?
appear that way, yes.
And I know a lot of Xbox guys. I know a lot of PlayStation people. But I said, look, um, let's change the rule set a little bit because Xbox stopped doing the GT switch. Let's do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing for the LCN community.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were alleged to have a freezer or whatever the term is, freezer and lag switcher or whatever the fuck. And I'm thinking, because all these other families, because families that play cheap, I don't. Me personally, I don't play cheap, nor anybody in the family plays cheap,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really look at it from that perspective. I'm like, guys, if you want to ban us from LCM because one family bitched, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
You'll find another place to be. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do our own thing, but so we're friends with a lot of families and rivals to others, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy for me to just be like, okay, yeah, cool. This is how business is gonna go.
Right.
You know.
Since we are getting rained out, I feel like we could switch maybe to the cigar lounge.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dante, if you could lead the way, my friend. Okay,
I'm gonna be
where's?
honest. I don't even know where that's at, big bro.
Oh, come on.
Straight through here.
It's right through here, Dante. How many family meetings have we had, and and you
My
didn't
bad.
even know, and you didn't
I
even
remember
know where
now.
the cigar
I
went?
remember now.
I'm just all right, Reeve.
um, but yeah, no, no, I think this is perfect because like I said too, I
hmm
think just even in IRL, people
Right,
forget that sometimes the
and
thugs and the kingpins are actually taking care of their
mhm,
communities better than any government program's gonna do. You know.
exactly, just like in Japan with the yakuza. And this here
Yep.
is my consig
Yep.
this here is my consigliere. Eldir Marzoni. Eldir is one of. Oh, and he probably lagged out again, but never mind.
He's coming in and
Uh,
out.
yeah, his internet's a little wonky.
It happens. It happens to the
It
best of
happens, of
us.
course it does.
So, your history, maybe
hmm
talk about some times where, the court of public opinion was also half in your favor, half not in your favor. How did you kind of get through those
So
moments?
pretty much, I had a lot of people. A lot of people kind of try to paint me as the bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my nickname is
Perception's
the Pope.
tough.
My nickname is the Pope because I'm a man of connections,
Ah.
And thing is I believe in connections rather than conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, old me would have been like shoot him up and be done with it.
I've
But
heard that logic a time or two in my days.
in Valentino, if this was like Valentino 79 guys deep, it'd be like, you know, my old consigliere, my old consig, Rob Valentino would have been like, boss, what do you want him? What do you want us to do? And I would have been like, whack him. Who gives a shit? You know, like
Mm-hmm.
whack him, get done with it. But me, I value nowadays. I value a lot because IRL personal tragedy opened my eyes to the point of connections, and I was like, okay, let's like let me not bull rush into anything. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
let me do as Napoleon once said, strategy is everything. Um, because I go by Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince, and or
Oh, you are well
Napoleon's
read, sir. I've read The
or
Prince, but I've not
or
yet met
or
anyone in this com.
Napoleon's right. I'm a history nut, so I'm a history buff, so I watch documentaries. It's either mafia or historical
Uh-huh.
stuff. Like yeah, I switch between either one.
Right.
Um,
But yes, I'm familiar with the works of
right,
Machiavelli. Yes. I have
right.
read The
I
Prince.
go I go by never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake, and
Mm-hmm.
pretty much a lot of the families that we have fought, they mistake my kindness for weakness
Sure,
sometimes.
sure.
And I had a family recently called the Moretti family. You
Heard the
may
name.
you may know him, Rio Moretti. He got blacklisted years ago for I think it was taking Rockstar Cruise, and I think it was flag switching or whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm. Something
But
like that.
yeah, and he had gone into my old family, one of like the last family that I ran before I left, and he pretty much tried getting me blacklisted personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I had said to him, I'm like, dude, and my buddy Nex is like, oh, I know he wouldn't do that, and Mike Luciano, who was a boss at the time, was like, what the hell is this? This is favoritism. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Mike, you forget who's the OG here? This guy, not you. But I mean, nowadays, Marzoni, some people hate us, some people love us, some people are kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not all over the place, but the old guys love us, the new gen hates us,
And
So,
why do you think that is? Like, what about? I mean, obviously, it has something to do with the culture kind of shifting, right?
right. Hmm.
But
Hmm.
you think it's just because you're a holder of the old guard,
I mean, no, well,
or is
yes
it
and
deeper
no.
than that?
It's a little deeper, but a lot of people. There was a boss by the name of Tracy Serby who wanted to reform the community
Mm-hmm.
in his own image, and he wanted to be like a
Kind of a red flag, yeah.
not red flag, but he wanted to be, if you're well read, Salvatore Maranzano, who was the who started the Casa della Morese War for the mafia in real life.
Ah,
He was
gotcha.
trying to be a Sal Maranzano,
I've
and
heard the name.
he tried to allege that I was a rat, and I'm thinking,
Mm,
because I talked to a few tryhards to get rid of your ass, you think I'm a rat? Fuck off.
gotcha, gotcha,
And
gotcha.
I left him in the dust, and I've been loyal to Nexus Vinci ever since. Anybody that bad talks Dex, bad talks me.
Right.
Um, and I've talked to different bosses such as Godfather Da Vinci Mafia. He was another friend turned enemy because an enemy of mine was backing him a few months back, and that guy's
Mm-hmm.
name was Biaggi Ardolino. And Biaggi had the habit. I used to call him the skirt because every single time we would win a war against a friend of his, he would run. That friend would run behind him and be like, "Oh, he lost. He lost. What the hell?" And he would get
Mm-hmm.
his turf back, and I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right, 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 right.
But getting back to Marzoni publicly, I think a lot of families, some people love us, some people hate us. Families that love us are our friends and allies,
Yeah.
and compatriots. Our enemies, I I don't I don't hate, because hating takes a lot of energy. I saw that on Instagram and I reposted it,
Yeah.
and that's one of my 2026 values. Because personally, GTA is just a game. You have to go by the Vegas rule. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah. Turn the game off if you need a
And
break.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Right.
And these guys that want to do lag switching and all the technical shit, it's like they're like, "Oh, we're up on you." Da, 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 da. I'm like, guys, this ain't Call of Duty. You're not you're not trying out for FaZe Clan here. You're not doing any of
Right.
the bullshit.
Right. You're
If you
not going to be
if you
on
can't play
esports.
clean,
Yeah.
right? If you can't play clean,
You're not getting a sponsorship,
why?
guys.
Right, you're not getting shouted out by Rockstar anymore. Rockstar is, from what if I press the pause button and I go to cruise, their leaderboard is already set, and
Mm-hmm.
IGN is number one, plus a
Mm-hmm.
couple of crews that Rockstar themselves have already created. But
Right.
it's like these guys are so obsessed with notoriety. It's like, why can't you just sit there and build? Why can't you just sit there, build,
I
get
get
ready for
that.
GTA 6, and then move on?
Yep. No, totally.
Because
Totally.
you know,
Well,
and
and I wonder if
you
GTA
know,
5 is really going anywhere when GTA 6 comes.
I this is my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, some families will have regimes over here, and
Mm-hmm.
street regimes and crews, whatever, what have you. But a lot of families will basically transfer the bulk of their members over here, or the members that aren't, shall I say, economically equivocally enough to get
Right.
GTA 6.
Right.
can, transfer over at a later date. Which here's the thing: when GTA 5's remaster came out, a lot of families on the Xbox side and PlayStation side were like, okay, we're gonna do a whack lobby on the old 5 and transfer to new.
Mm.
So that's how that's gonna go from there. I think a lot of
Okay.
families will kind of, and with the 5M, because Rockstar paid God knows how much money for 5M. I
Right.
mean, because when you think about it, and not to sound negative, but squeakers ruined GTA 5 in my opinion, because it's like, because I've met in my time in the Mafia comp, I have met my whole shall we say, lion's den of squeaker dons, or Mickey Mouse dons as I like to call them,
Mm-hmm.
because they go, because this is how a Mickey Mouse don sounds to me. I can do a perfect impersonation. Oh, hi guys, you want to join my crime family? Like,
Nope,
it's
nope,
like
nope, nope,
it's
nope.
see Dante knows. Dante knows. That's how they sound to me. It's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking to Mickey Mouse right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking to a boss. I'm talking to Mickey Mouse. And
Right.
then, and then these squeakers, when they don't get their way, they're like, "Oh, I wasn't made. What the fuck is this?" And they try to start conflict. And it's like
To get the clout. And
to get the clout and whatever, what have
the
you.
clicks and the views and the.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And families, and I hate to say this, but blacklisted families have the most squeakers. They don't recruit in age range, and that's one thing I'm going to stress to everybody: recruit in
Mm-hmm.
your age range. Do
Yeah.
not, it's good to bring in maybe 1 to 2 young guys, but that's it. That's it.
Right.
Just cut it off there. Just
If it's
don't
all
be
young guys, it's gonna be little Harry Carey.
chaotic as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be chaotic as
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because majority of my guys, we're all adults here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some people go have jobs, some people have college, whatever the hell. I
Yep.
personally don't stress my members about getting on, because that's what a lot of newer families do. They stress their members, and it's like you're trying to balance life and the crew and the family.
Right.
You're trying to balance life and family, and it's like, what the fuck?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
they and something has to give, and that crew gives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Nope. I've
So I say to my
kind of been there
guys,
myself. Yep. In my short time.
right? I say to my guys, look, IRL first. If you all got to do anything, job,
Yeah.
whatever, I'm not gonna kick you. I'm not gonna bang you. I'm not gonna whack you out. I'm not gonna do any of that shit. Just communicate, because
I was just
communication is key.
yeah. I was just gonna say the communication word. It's all about that. For real. I think like a lot of sins in a lot of communities and a lot of cultures could just be resolved by communicating.
Right.
um, and pure intentions. Uh,
Right.
so something we've kind of been exploring too, episode after episode, and just kind of the general themes of this whole
hmm
podcast are actors of good faith versus actors in bad faith. And that doesn't necessarily mean like religion faith, but being well read. Now I'm going to test you in return. Do you know some of the philosophy authors? Like, would you know Jean-Paul Sartre, the godfather of
I know
existentialism?
I know Socrates,
Okay.
Aristotle.
Okay, you can keep up.
Most
Okay, great.
the
Great.
basic people. I'm not a big philosopher person.
Right, but you're at least familiar, right? You know
Yeah.
the keynotes. So
Yeah.
so
Or
his
Niccolo Machiavelli, because he's philosophy technically.
yes, right, and Sartre would have been informed by Machiavelli,
hmm
would have read those works to
hmm
write his works. So I don't know if you ever do
Like,
read his stuff. Just remember he did a lot of coke, and it'll all make a lot more sense.
yeah, he did a lot of cocaine, pretty much.
Yeah, not a but anyway, his big thing, cocaine or no, was this good or bad faith idea.
hmm
So there's no good and evil. There's no right and wrong in the world. Very kind of Zen like, very kind
hmm
of Buddhist too. Um,
hmm
there's just acting in good faith, acting in bad faith. There's sort of a spectrum. You've got ultimate one way, ultimate another.
hmm
Machiavelli and the Prince definitely explores a lot of these
Yep.
themes of being authentic, putting your money where your mouth is, communicating things.
Right.
Um, and so that's kind of something I've been exploring with this podcast using GTA. And so that can
Mhm.
come from just even story mode, looking
Mhm.
at the story of Michael and Trevor. Um,
Right.
Having you on today is great because it's really giving us, like you said, good history
And
of
an insight of the community. Yeah.
the mafia community, which is its own. But underneath it all, as you can see, like a lot of these same things kind of come through, and why I
Mhm.
like being the anti-hero in a game like this and exploring, because to me,
Right.
like I said in the beginning, we find more truth with the anti-hero than your standard hero. I think a lot of times
Right.
the hero is kind of fake, right? They're
Right.
just
Yeah.
worshipped,
Yeah.
like they're not always authentic.
As a kid, I always was like, okay, like people were like, because all kids like they worship the hero, and I'm like, no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a villain guy. I'm a villain guy.
Right.
So you know, like
Right.
like when you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, you see Davy Jones, how heartbroken he was, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
movie you want to reference as a hero and
Mm-hmm.
villain in it. It's like, okay, that's how it is. Is that would I would drive people nuts with that. But
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, a hero and a villain, I mean, it depends on what side of the coin you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're on one side of the coin, and I use this term a lot, I like to call Abraham Lincoln a hero, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Abraham Lincoln was like the ultimate hero of everybody, like at his
Oh
time.
yeah, I
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
even now, if you ask people who was the most
Hmm.
heroic president, probably most people would pick that.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, most people would think him.
yeah, for sure.
Now the villain, like villains wise, I think the worst person, because I actually did a school project on him, Joseph Stalin,
Mm-hmm.
because Stalin himself, like everybody goes, oh, well, he helped us in World War II. Well, he helped us because it was his own gain.
Right,
Because
right.
during the war, Russia was attacked by the Germans and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just watched
and
a
it was
podcast
like,
on all that recently too, or
right,
listened to.
right. I mean, I listen to Sarah Payton as well myself sometimes.
Okay.
If I scroll through and I go, oh, Sarah Payton's in one of my shorts on my feed. Let me listen.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, he would be the ultimate villain. Um, but in
And
the
what makes
Mafia
him the
com
villain, like character wise?
character wise,
If we're looking at
well, here's the
authenticity and all that.
authenticity. Like here's the thing, I believe his son Vasily,
Mm-hmm.
because the Germans had said, look, we are going to trade your son for our field marshals, which were basically our our generals, pretty much, in the
Right.
German army.
Very biblical. Very like Abraham.
And they were saying, we'll trade him for your son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so his son, Stalin said, I don't want my son back.
Right.
You can keep him.
Right. Right.
And as soon as he got that response, he electrocuted himself on a fence and killed himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, and Stalin's just non-caring attitude
Mm-hmm.
towards that was like, what the, like your own kid's fighting your war, so what the, so what's
Yeah.
the
Completely
point?
self-serving.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
I guess that makes a villain. A villain. Oh my god, I can't
Mm,
say villain today. Billion.
yeah,
Uh
yeah,
that self-serving aspect. Yeah.
hmm, right.
Whereas like
Not to
even the
forget,
anti-hero might be the Robin Hood, right?
right? Like like I said, Carlo Gambino and all the
Mm-hmm.
old school bosses
Mm-hmm.
before certain things happened and switched, the mindset. But I would say a lot of the occasion with our modern mafia community, to put it in perspective, I view
Mm-hmm.
Nexus Vinci as a hero. Now the villain, I don't know if you've heard of this guy or not, was Don Lorenzo Gambino. I'm not gonna say Mangano because I'm not gonna stoop to his lows and be like, oh, I'm Mangano now. You can't call me Gambino anymore. Here's what he used to do. This is
Mm-hmm.
what Lorenzo used to do. He would recruit kids into his crew, and if he didn't get what he wanted out of them, he would dox them and boot them and all this stuff, right?
Ugh, not
And
pleasant.
he he would go personal with them.
Mhm.
And sometimes he does the same thing. And this is Tommy, my street boss. And so the thing is with Lorenzo is he's gone now. He's done.
Mhm.
But he is always kind of, people kind of view him as the boogeyman, right?
Mm.
Next, basically looked at it from a, okay, why are we, you attacked a young kid for no apparent reason. I'm gonna be the shield, you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
to use a historical reference, he was basically like King Baldwin, one of my other
Mm.
favorite heroes in history. Um, but with that, like, he helped me a lot. When back in the PSN, PS4 days, he helped me with recruitment posters, emblems, defensing game, all that sort of stuff. And pretty much, when Moretti came around, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to side with Lorenzo." And Lorenzo tries to coax people to his side, and it's
Mm.
like, "Oh, let me do this, let me do whatever." And a lot of the situation with these blacklisted families is it's like an angel and the devil on your shoulder. You got your angel, you got your devil, and it's like, okay, this guy's going to be a sheep, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mhm.
He's not gonna play legitimate. He's not gonna do what needs to be done. He's not gonna recruit at his age range. That's the problem with a lot of these, bosses. They look at the wrong
Genovese.
examples. Thank you. Like Lucius Genovese. Lucius Genovese. To get back to him, like I said, I'm not going to diss the whole family, but we've whipped their asses 9 times over in a 3 month period, right?
Mhm.
And we've whacked them. We've whacked their Don. We've whacked all their boys, right? But
Mhm.
yet they have to stoop to armored vehicles. They have to stoop to using buzzards. They have to stoop to using oppressors. And it's like, and then
Right.
they go, "Oh, Marzoni 99 first." It's like, no, we have the evidence. And then because
Right.
we allegedly have a lag switcher in our crew, allegedly,
Mm.
they
That old
kicked us out
chestnut.
of out of the community chat, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Marzoni's blacklisted." And I just kind of had this whole mentality of when next comes back, he's gonna put a boot up your ass
Mhm.
for turning me away. And they've done that to multiple families. They've
Yeah.
done that to Musitano. They've done that to us. They've done that to a bunch of people. And it's like, you know, and Nex himself is under social media investigation at the current moment because Amato, who's the head of the verified community, got salty because he ducked the TDM with Nex and was like, "Oh, we're gonna do everything that we can to to keep Nexus out of it." And so what he did was he banned him. He had IG ban him. And
Mm.
it's like, what the like what the hell is going on with this community? It's a 5 community split. There's various rule sets. You have the Black Mafia community, which is Mob Era and BMF.
Mhm.
You have the LCN barely. You have the General Mafia Com. You have
Mhm.
Verified. It's like what's with the litany of choices?
Right, 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 right. And everyone comes, it seems, with its own set of rules. Trust me, I've been trying
Mm-hmm.
to learn as I've like dabbled in the arena, and it
Mm-hmm.
is like you need to take a college class. I feel
Not,
like.
it's not more a college class. You have to just learn the rules as it goes
At least a
because
seminar,
right,
an onboarding
right,
conference.
right. Like with me, I'm not like when I learned the rules, I learned them from my mentor, Gio Gigante, and
Mhm. Mhm.
I learned the PlayStation ones from Nex. Because
Yeah.
Nex said to me, he's like, dude, we don't run back into the apartment after a hit. We go all the way to the airport or we
Right,
go by
as you're
boat.
supposed to.
That's
Mhm.
it, as you're
Yeah.
supposed to.
No
And
honor.
no one, and a lot of these newer families, they don't want to do that. It's like they lag switch, they do all this, they do all the techie stuff, and I'm like,
Right.
they're like, oh, we up on you, bah, 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 scorecards, all this stuff. It's like I view a win or a loss by who do we whack, Who did we push out? Did we get pushed out?
Authenticity.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dante. Did we get pushed out? Did our lines break? Did Did we lose a member or get whacked or whatever? And we've basically, to use a historical reference, we've been like the Spartans against the Persians at Thermopylae,
Oh,
pretty much.
okay.
And, a lot of people lionize the Spartans, but thing is with us is we've held the line majority of the time. That's why we have a golden lion on our crest, and I will send you our new family crest
Oh,
if you want to
yes.
have
Yes,
it.
symbolism. No, no,
Um,
we love symbols and narratives and all that around here. I can put that up on the
use it.
screen right now. See?
We use social media to recruit people, bring them in. We use Discord. We use all
Right.
this other stuff. Because I don't think in-game recruiting, because this ain't 2013 no more.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't
In-game
playing
recruiting
then, but
is
like my
just
bestie's husband was. I know what you're talking about.
mhm.
It's not those days
in-game
anymore.
recruiting. In-game recruiting is like all dead because when I do the rare in-game recruiting, I basically when I make a rare appearance in a lobby and I'm like, okay, let me see if I who I can bring in. I pretty much scroll down. I look for guys in suits, and I go, okay, are you interested in the crew? And if I get the can't message this person due to their settings, I can say, okay, no, they're probably a squeaker, or they're nervous, or whatever
Yeah.
the heck it is.
Or just
Because
don't know what they're
I
doing yet. Yeah.
right.
That was
Because a
definitely
lot of
me.
right, because a lot of families, I think, and this is one thing that I don't agree with. A lot of families throw their members to the wolves. They don't teach them.
Right, like I
Now
was saying,
I.
just give me an onboarding. Just at least a
Mhm.
process.
Right. They don't teach them the rules. And,
Mhm.
we use sports cars, classic cars, sedans, coupes, SUVs,
Mhm.
unarmed helicopters for wax. We use the Luxor as an escaping aircraft for, hits and so forth. And it's just thing is that when we do our hits, we do it for a reason. We don't just go after you because oh you said something bad about so- IRL. I'm going to go after you. I don't like you.
Mhm.
That's the thing that I don't like about this new generation. Is this new generation
Right.
will make personal allegations against you that you wouldn't even have done or thought about.
Oh, I've
But
got friends where like their age comes into question, and I know they're
right,
adults, and it's like, but people
yeah,
just
exactly.
want to throw their name into the mud for no reason. Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing that I think is terrible.
Mhm.
It's like guys,
It
this
makes
is
it
a
unplayable.
13-year-old game. This is a 13-year-old game, guys.
Yeah.
Now it's 2026. It's a 13-year-old game. We have GTA 6 coming in November. Let's use this year to focus on our crews and be better people. That's it.
I feel that. Yeah. And just make this game playable because we've all spent,
Hmm.
60 to $100 just getting the game on our consoles, let alone
Right,
the $17
right.
a month for, the
Uh,
extras.
the $7 a month for GTA Plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing that I don't agree with
Yeah.
the whole
We've all spent
everybody
our
going
money.
personal. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all spent money. We're in our respective communities. Some people are a part of the MC. Some people are in the mafia community, like myself. Some
Mhm.
people are in the cartel community, even though it's fringe as it is. Um,
Mhm.
some people are part of the tryhard community. Other people, are part of are just general role players. I've seen
Yeah. Content
somebody else,
creators. Yeah.
content creators. There was a guy that I saw recently. I might go into one of his role plays just as an experience, called
Mhm.
Big Head Lindo. He's on Discord
Oh, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. I follow him
or
on Instagram and stuff. Yeah.
Instagram and stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
and Big Head Lindo and all that stuff. And I follow Big Texas and all these other content creators because I like quality content, and I just don't follow the crime families. Now, the
Yeah.
sad part about it is right now the current. If I don't know if you follow GTA Mafia news or not, you probably do. You probably don't.
Yeah, yeah, I follow them. It doesn't get
Um.
fed by my algorithms on my feed, but yes,
Mhm.
I follow them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, multiple families will post different things, and like, oh,
Mhm.
like because of the community split, and you have BMF has their own news page, but a lot of families, they'll be like, oh yeah, some fighting, some allying, some, splitting turf down the middle, whatever the case. But
Mm-hmm.
my viewpoint is our time in LS is slowly coming to an end. You
Mm-hmm.
know, LS itself has been passed around, worse than, dare I say, um, worse than somebody saying, okay, here's $1,000, give it to the next person. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it just goes around and around and around.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I think people need to work on their crews, build
Mm-hmm.
them up, maintain that connection for when GTA 6 comes out and they eventually shut down
That's
the
fair.
um
Yeah,
shut
that'll
down
be
the
a question.
social
How
club and
long?
so
Yeah,
on.
till they shut down the
You know, shut
servers, right?
shut down the social club and so on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because social club is already glitching. Like, I
Mm-hmm,
mean,
mm-hmm.
I mean, my men have looked for CF tags from other families, and they're like, "Oh, not there. What do we do?" I said, "Do they have the name?" Yeah,
Mm.
they got the name.
My husband's noticed that
But
because he does the silent
yeah,
ledger for our crew, and he notices
hmm
that a lot too. Yeah.
so I'm gonna pass it on to Dante if you want to ask any other
Yes.
questions to him, and then I'll pass it
Yes.
on to Reeves.
Yo,
You've been listening along. Do you have any favorite anti-heroes that you would like to share? Like what spoke to you when we were talking about all that stuff?
Oh, please don't say any Black Clover
um,
bullshit. Please don't say any Black Clover
nah,
bullshit.
nah, 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 no Black Clover shit. But it is a different anime.
Yeah.
Oh, good
No, I'm
God.
an
Uh,
anime
Oh, good
fan.
God. Okay.
it's the Eminence in Shadow. You know, he's not really a villain, but he's also not really a hero, and he kind of
Mm-hmm.
just stands out to me, kind of like the dark fit, the dark uh little theme he got going. You know, he who lurks in the shadows to hunt the shadows. I kind of like that quote
Mm-hmm. Kind of like a
type
Dexter
shit.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like a
Yeah,
Batman
that'd be
vibe from
more. That'd
Batman.
be that.
Yeah, I've been out of the mafia community for a minute. I was back in Garino like during like 2020.
Okay.
So like at the start of COVID. So yeah, what I can say is from my time in Garino and my time in Marzoni, it's a big difference now. Back in Garino, there wasn't a lot of there was more it was people like rival crime families actually sticking to the script, you know, staying 1%. But from
Mm-hmm.
what I can see now, joining the community, like 5 years later, I can see that it's that's not really that's not the case now
No
anymore.
more
You know,
code.
I no more code. It's you know,
Yeah.
there's no more honor. You know, it's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
cowardice now that I see nowadays. Um,
It takes
yeah,
structure
you
to
know,
have those
it's
things.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It takes
Mm-hmm.
structure and it takes a good don like Mr. Paul here to
Aw.
reestablish those rules. You know, I feel like a lot of dons nowadays they just kind of let their people run wild, their recruits, their associates run wild and stuff, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something that needs to change. And even then, the dons kind of like participate with the 99ing now. You know, inviting people that
Lucy
even that
Genovese.
aren't on tags. Yep, Genovese. Yeah. Uh, you know, whether it's lag switching or using blacklisted vehicles, weapons, or
or
even
being
inviting people that aren't on tags, aka Lenina.
AKA Lord's Motorcycle Club. You're forgetting that one too, buddy.
I know that
Yeah,
name. I've heard that name in the last recently.
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing. The Lord's Motorcycle Club, just to kind of interject for a second, that's his MC shit, and he's
Mm-hmm.
mixing it in with his crime with the crime family. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I would never do that. None of the OGs before me would do that. Next wouldn't do that. I mean,
Uh-huh.
his, it's like oil and water. You know what I mean? You don't mix them together because then things will blow up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
like
have seen
that's.
a lot more experimentation. Um,
Mhm.
well, and even the crew, I won't talk too much about my crew, but
Mhm.
we're kind of an experimental, think like an experimental rock band, trying to fuse
Eh,
all these
Yeah.
things together. So I get it.
mhm.
I get it. There's a lot of avenues, and I think what we would ultimately like to see is just some way to unify all those things, but still have our own codes, our own ways that we role play, but like there could be a way that we could all come together so we're not just griefing each other in lobbies, I guess, you know.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing. I mean, getting back to Dante's side of the interview, but getting back to Dante's side of the interview. So Dante, do you have anything else to say? Sorry to interject there, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I just had something to say, but I kind of forgot.
Oh, I
Oh
did
yeah.
that to my poor husband this
So
morning.
yeah. So as coming back to the community before I did join the community, from my time away, I'll admit that I was, I did take a break. I was a try hard, as some would say. I just playing GTA, kind of like how anybody else that isn't in a roleplay community would play.
Right.
Um,
I'm just here to fuck shit up.
yeah, pretty much fuck shit
Yeah.
up.
Just here to cause some chaos. Not really
Yeah, and I noticed that
care about the
when
long
I'm going
term.
against, when I'm going against other rival crime family, uh, when we, doing lobby wars, whack lobby, shit
Or
like that,
just public lobby
or
fights.
just
Yeah.
public lobby fights. I
Free
noticed
for all.
that when they 99, something. This is good. I'm going with the good of the Marzoni Famiglia. But when they 99 and shit like that, my temper is not that good. So there'd be times where I'd be like, yo, like this shit pissing me off.
Uh-huh.
I'm finna 99. I'm like Paul, like Paul and Tommy, they calm me down like no, we gotta make sure we gotta let them know that we're the better Famiglia. We gotta play by the rules, even though they 99. We gotta still slam them while
Yeah.
still playing by the rules.
Yep.
The
And
only Well, to interject, the only time I give you the weapons free code word is if it's an MC. That's the only time I give you weapons free.
yeah,
Oh,
yep.
okay. Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
So when we're going against rival crime families, even if they do 99, Paul and the hierarchy, they make sure that everyone still is playing by the rules of
Mm-hmm.
the mafia famiglia community rules type shit.
Yeah. I
And
respect that.
that's something that a lot of other familias don't have is that code of honor, that
Mm-hmm.
drive to stay calm and composed.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean,
so far,
well,
my time in Marzoni has been like a fucking snowball landslide. It just keeps getting better every day, every day. Every time I'm here is just something that I can look back on in the future and be like, yeah, Marzoni, in my opinion, is the best crime family I've ever joined and ever
It gives you
encountered.
purpose.
It gives me purpose, It gives you a
Yeah.
purpose to actually play GTA with a purpose, not just
Mm-hmm.
going around killing everybody in jets, rockets, and shit like that.
That makes sense.
I
That makes
mean,
sense.
like here's the thing. I took a break because of a IRL family tragedy. I'm not going to get deep into it, but
Yeah. Yeah. Understandable.
I had a family member pass away of COVID, and he was real close to me,
Right. Right. Right.
and I pretty much I couldn't think straight because on the Xbox side, I left somebody in charge, and that person that I left in charge told me to go fuck myself.
Ew.
And
Not
then
good.
on the Xbox on the PlayStation end, there was a guy who I shouldn't have put in charge, but under duress I did, which was a mistake. And he's
Mm.
now part of a rival family, and this dude can't shoot worth a damn. Let's be honest. I've gotten better. He's gotten worse. And it's like, and they're like, oh, we whacked your ass. It's like, dude, I fucking bodied your ass, bitch. Like,
Right. Right.
I shot you in the head. Boom. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of these families, they just don't want to follow the rules. It's like,
I get that.
next, if you were here, everybody will be following fucking rules because I'm not a community guy. Even though
Yeah.
I was made vice chair of LCN not once but twice, I have yet. I'm not a
Mm.
community guy. I'd rather run my family, get to the Godfather status, and just
Yeah.
do as other Godfathers have done, run their families, and aid where need be aided, and so on and so forth.
Right. You've put in the work. It's
And
time to kind of elevate to that status.
yeah, that's
That's
and
understandable.
when I was young, my old consig, when I think it was 16, when I was 16, my old consig was like, "Be Godfather." I'm like, "What? I still have a lot left to think." He's like, "You've been down enough. Be Godfather already." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay." and
Yeah.
I was about to be Godfather for like before I got hacked. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
because people would never see me, people would never see me, at all. It would just be a name because my old name was Vito Valentino back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But which I used from, like I said, Vito Corleone. I used that
Right, right, right,
as an
right.
inspiration.
Yep.
Um, but with most of my members that I have now, like Dante, Reeve, everybody that I have in the family, they all put the work in. Even when I'm off, I say, guys, what's going on? And they
Mm-hmm.
and they give me the rundown. They're like, okay, we whacked these people, we recruited these people, we did our TDMs today, we got our
Mm-hmm.
money today, and it's like a to use the euphemism, a smoothly running machine,
Yeah, well-oiled
you
machine.
know,
Yeah. I've used
well-oiled
that.
machine, yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
well-oiled machine. And I have connections with other crews from other communities, and I don't use them liberally
Mm-hmm.
because here's the thing: I stick to 1%. My boys stick to 1%. And if somebody jumps one of my guys, I'm gonna fucking be like, all right, that dude's going. That whoever,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't care what family they're part of. They're fucking going.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because Dante, you've whacked how many people, just to kind of tag into Renee for the interview, from how many families,
Yeah.
how many people
What's
have you
your
whacked?
count?
I think I'm at
You're at 11.
between
I think you're at
12 or
11.
14.
This one goes to 11. Spinal Tap. Sorry, had to.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
pretty
Yeah, I'm at
much.
like 12 or 14. I lost track. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think you're at like
Oh.
14. Because
Yeah.
if you look at Dante's page and the family page and such, and even YouTube page, because I can give you the link to that.
Mm-hmm.
They we pretty much been whipping every family's ass. Like, I mean, Donis Madrazo. I don't know if you've heard of her or not.
I believe so.
When we were part of it, we were part of LCN, and she started opening her mouth, and I was like, oh no, I've been a part of this community 9 years. You ain't disrespecting shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm putting my foot down.
Yeah.
And Dante did the job, and I like to use the comparison of Dante here as my Al Neri,
Mm.
because we all know what happened to Luca
AKA
Brasi.
Batman.
Yep, that too. But like, I mean, and my other members who aren't present, they've done a lot of hits in their time. I've done hits very rarely, but
Mm-hmm.
in total, I think from my 9 year career, I have about 35 hits
Okay. Respectable.
under my own thumb. But sometimes I order more than I do them myself. But
Well, that is part of being a boss.
exactly. But I mean, there's other families and other rivals that we have that we've kicked their ass. We've done everything that humanly possible, and it's just like, you know, it's just like, guys, why can't you get the message? You can't freaking touch us. I mean, to quote my old enemy Rocco Gigante, he was like, well, you can't freaking touch us, because he used to do this talk show thing on YouTube about, it's called the State of the Community, and he would rant and rave. And I'm thinking, in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what? He's right. Like, now I'm getting it. Like, when you're a well-oiled machine, nobody can touch you. But
Mm-hmm.
my thing is this: like, I would rather do business with other crews and families and stuff like that, because that's the beauty of not being a part of a community. You are basically given your
Freedom.
control over, not control, not even freedom, but your control over what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to do. But
Yeah, it's kind of what we're trying to do too. With what
yeah,
we're making is stay out of the commissions and stuff.
ESA of the communities and stuff like that. Like, I mean, we've, I mean, right now, I mean, a lot of families, some like us, some hate us, like I said earlier, but one Don who has been really up my ass, and I've been debating on what to do with the fucking idiot, is, um, have you ever heard of Assassin Brown?
No.
No. Okay. Well, quick story about Assassin Brown. Assassin Brown did this. He pretty much. was when I was taking a break from GTA. I ran a Red Dead Outlaw crew, and he walked up to us and he goes, and this is how he would speak. He'd go, yeah, I'm the boss, yeah, like all that sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, he's not a regular UK guy. He's an idiot. He's a village idiot. So I said to one of my gunmen, he's like, what do you want me to do with him? I said, whack him. I said, kill him, bushwhack him, and that's what he did. And he keeps returning when nobody wants him, and I'm
Mm.
like, dude, do you not get it? No one's gonna join your shit. You
I
recruit
mean,
young kids.
I've seen that
Get
happen
out of
before.
it.
I've seen that happen.
Like, get out of it. And he recruits like fucking. He mass recruits young kids. I'm like, get out of it, dude. Recruit
Yeah.
at your age range.
Yeah.
Don't be a creep. And he one time he tried joining Marzoni, and I'm like, I would whack you rather than recruit you.
Right. Right. Yeah,
But
so yeah, I find that interesting too. A couple times you've hit on that,
mm,
part of being a well-oiled machine. Do you feel like maybe it's not always an age thing, but do you feel like you really have to have a crew with everyone has the same mindset?
yeah,
Yeah.
because here's the thing: when you bring somebody in that is either ill experienced or, dare I say, because I see a bunch of these new families, and they, Pavano being a good example, because one of my men is still in their group chat, and they don't even know because they're fucking idiots. Um, they they pretty much had all of their stuff preset for them. They didn't work towards it. It was
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm being the Don. You're being the underboss. You're being the consig. You're being the street boss. Da, 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 da. And I do the way I do my family is I treat it like not really a job, but more like real life. Like, would you be the CEO your first day in? All right, Rave. I'll
Not
talk to you
unless you're
later,
a
buddy.
nepo baby.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, I really don't understand how that goes.
Yeah.
People just go, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and go from there.
No.
So I personally think, from my perspective, a lot of the situation with doing, you know, like bringing new associates in, bringing new shooters in, that's I never interact with my associates unless I know I'm not going to interact with a fresh off the boat associate, because
Mm-hmm.
that you're it's like, okay, if you do that, you're bound to get whacked. Like, you are
Yeah.
bound to get hit. Now, if they're in maybe like a week, 2 weeks, whatever the case is, then I'll be like, all right, let's interact with them, bring them into a family meeting,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may
Mm-hmm.
be, and just do a lot of what I need to do. And
Right.
plus, I'm a busy man, so I have my underlings do what needs to be done,
Like we said
because
before we started delegating.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these families, when they preset the ranks, it's like you're gonna get a rat in one day or another.
Right.
You're gonna get a rat in there, and
It's gonna
it's
stink
gonna
up the
screw.
place.
It's gonna no, well, not stink up the place. It's gonna ruin the family's reputation, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be, okay, these guys are easily infiltrated. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I personally, like, I never interact with new associates. I never interview them, because to me, I take Carlo Gambino's approach, because Carlo would never say, "Oh yeah, hey kid, welcome to the family." No, he would never do that. He would have his underlings do that.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
then when he became a made guy or whatever the case, then he would pay attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to being a well-oiled machine, another thing that I would tell new families or new bosses, whatever the case may be, train with your guys.
Yeah,
Don't
like TDMs
focus
and stuff.
on TDMs.
Yeah.
Do TDMs, like, especially the run and gun AR map.
Yeah.
That's been a really good thing. I just hate the fact that it's just pistols and not ARs for ammunition. But I'm
Right,
not
right,
going to
right.
blame the guy who made it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when I essentially get everything going, and my guys get everything going, it's like, all right, we're going to do this, 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 this. Bring them in, boom, that's it. We're cool. Now, a lot of these families, they want to, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do the role play and all this stuff. Here's the thing, whacks are a part of it too. So whenever you're a hierarchy member, do wax as a hierarchy member. Do it randomly. Don't have your enemies knowing what you're gonna do.
Right,
Number one,
right, right.
it's like because another thing, when you're in a fight, and this is one thing I've seen new dons do, and it makes me sick. Hold the line with your boys, even if you got killed. Hold the line with them. That
Yeah,
shows loyalty. That shows
yeah,
dedication. That shows brotherhood and strength.
yeah.
You hold the line with your boys. You don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna get off because I got whacked in derby." Like
Mm.
Dante said, Genovese does that multiple times over. Um,
Or just
Genovese,
never
another
leave
friend.
their apartment at all.
Well, yeah. And it makes me sick that these new gen guys have this habit of just, oh, let me act like a foot soldier. Boom, they go out, they get killed, they bitch about it. Or, oh, you
Mm-hmm.
didn't do by my community rules. Here's the thing, general community, everything fucking goes.
Yeah.
It's still the no GT thing for us, but
Mm-hmm.
one man's legal. Fucking snipe him as long as it's not a marksman, legal.
Yeah. Is it valid if you
You
didn't start in the
know,
clouds and end at the airport and
or if you clip it and it's or if you clip it and like I tell my guys, because sometimes Rockstar can be a little buggy with GTA 5. Clouds are not always an option. It doesn't always have to be exact. You
right,
can
right,
always
right,
just
right.
boom, clip it, get the kill, drive off, as long as you haven't gotten killed by the trigger happy LSPD. But,
Yep.
bribe cops,
Fly
go
out.
ghost,
Yeah.
whatever, fly out, do a boat, go on a boat, and, as long as you took it home, you got the clip, upload it to YouTube, I'll handle the rest. You go from
Gotcha.
there.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Because that's how a lot of families do. And, to use an example, my old friend Nexus Vinci. Nex, is a legend in his own time. Like he started before I did, like a few years
Mm-hmm.
before I did. He started in 2012, and he
That's like the
was running
beginning.
TDMs. Oh yeah, he ran TDMs with Gigante. He ran TDMs with all these families, and then he joined Jimmy Nine Lives and took over the family as Don Nexus Leon, and that's how I
Mm.
met him. And I was always his right. I was his community right hand. So it was like we both ran our families. We both were respectable. But a lot of the situation with these new guys is they don't have that legacy. That okay, I'm a Don. Let me fight. Let me fight. Let me fight. They have this whole. I hate to say it, but this royalty status about them. It's like, oh, I'm the king. I'm like, I'm the Don. I can't be touched. Here's the thing: if you hold your line with your guys, that shows loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. If you don't, it's gonna be, oh, this guy, oh, this guy's a prick. Boom. And you
Mm-hmm.
get set up and killed. You
Yeah.
get set up and whacked. It's happened to me in the past when I've rushed things. And with
Mm-hmm.
Marzoni, I've learned, since like I said, since I've been away, I've learned to slow things down
That's
because
understandable, yeah.
I've learned how to slow things down. And to me, a lot of families, and this is one family I'm going to say, and I know I'm going to piss the guy off, but I don't care. Angelo Rose. Angelo Rose. He's a guy who does not know what the fuck he's doing. He has multiple CF tags, and yet it's like, oh, I'm the Don of the Rose Mafia families. Dude,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to have, you know, 5 tags to make the world go around. You know what I mean? Like that, nah. You can't have you don't do that. And I'm gonna tell this to different families too. Associate tag, CF tag. That's it. That's how I was taught. No hitman tag, no hierarchy tag, no family tag. No, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the two. Just the two. I don't care if I don't care if your guys fucking say, "Oh, I'm part of an RP." When we're not doing shit. I don't care. Just have two tags. That's
I
it.
know. I'm bad. I have to admit, I didn't see this coming, but I'm accidentally up to 3
Mm,
now, and I didn't plan on that.
yeah. I mean,
It
well,
wasn't
here's
my
the thing.
fault.
Right, right. Like, I mean, with Marzoni, like I said, like I said, I was taught by Geo and Nex, and Geo and Nex basically taught me, look, don't overkill it. It's
Yeah,
just two tags at the same time,
yeah.
and associate tags, and that's it.
Mhm.
And thing is that you know, like I said, I have connections with different communities. I don't care what they do. Like, I have connections in the street gang community. I have connections with MCs. One community I refuse to talk to is the military community because
Ah,
they treat it like Call of Duty, and I can't stand that.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
that's just goes against my me being a mafia community legend, as it were, and with my longevity.
Right.
I don't really delve into that,
Mhm.
but a lot of families they do this shit, and it's like, oh, let's bring people in from military com, and they 99, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Lenina, like last night, I mean, Lenina had a guy flying around in an A10 Warthog, a chick flying around in an A10 Warthog, and we're going for wax and fighting them and whatever, and it's like, all I hear is, brrr, brrr. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, this ain't Battlefield, bitch.
My goodness. Oh my
Like, this
goodness.
ain't Battlefield.
Nope.
And then she's bombing my Dodge Charger, the STX that has the missile lock on shit on it. She's bombing it like crazy, and I'm thinking, why on God's green earth do people 99 my family first and then they bitch when we do it again?
Oh
I
yeah.
don't get it.
Oh
Like,
always.
I don't get this new
Yep.
generation. It's like, oh, if we 99 first, they're not gonna do shit. They're too sentimental. Nah, bitch. No,
Yeah.
if you want to, I'm not gonna give my guys the weapons free command often. But if you're part of a different community, 9 times out of 10, if you 99 us first, it's like, all right,
Mhm.
keep the 1%, keep the 1%, like Dante was saying. But thing is, if they 99 first, you're already in the wrong. You're not in the right.
Right.
But
But then that is
but yeah.
interesting when you get to the content creation of it because whoever gets to post their side first gets the
Yeah,
audience's empathy.
right. And
And the audience isn't going to see your virtue and your honor.
eh, eh,
Uh-huh.
that's
That's
the
the
whole
tricky
point.
part of it, isn't it?
That's the tricky part of it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's always when they try to do that. I personally don't believe in it. I personally don't, because it's like, to
Yeah.
me, like, like Dante when he got a whack on one of the Leninas, I believe it was. He started using slick mines, or the oil mines, and I'm like, what the heck is that?
But if the audience
Like, what?
doesn't get to see that part of the story.
And we've shared that to GTA Mafia
Mhm.
News. We've shared it to Joe Poser,
Mhm.
and we're like, dude, like, he gets backlogged with our content, other families' content,
Oh, I bet.
comments.
I couldn't imagine.
You know,
I could barely run this
he can't
podcast.
really he can't really post all of our stuff, and
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we're gonna post GT Mafia News, and then what I do, and this is a thing that I do to my enemies, I'll post when they leave session. I'll go boom, I just screenshot when they leave session, boom boom boom
Yeah,
boom boom, boom.
because it makes them look like
And
a
then
coward.
it's like, yeah, it makes them look like
Makes them look like
bitches,
they ran away.
and
Yep.
yeah, and it's like, all right, it's like, okay, another night of belt to ass,
Yeah.
or boot to ass, however you say it.
That way, whatever video they
Um,
post, it doesn't matter because you just made them
mhm,
look like a fool.
yeah, and
Right.
another thing, like, I remember, Dante, when was that fight with Lenina when they used a sparrow? like the bright red sparrow.
That
That wasn't me. I
was
had a
that two
bright red
nights ago?
sparrow.
No,
I'm
no,
pretty sure
no,
that was
no.
2 nights ago, wasn't it?
2 nights ago. Yeah. 2 nights ago. And he pretty much said to me, it was like, dude, I was watching it. I was watching it because I was gonna go out and fight because that's how I am. I defend my guys. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Mhm.
I go out and defend my guys. But I watched it and he's flying around in the sparrow. He's got his fit on and all this stuff, and I'm like, good God, how bad is this community falling? And and we whacked the guy beforehand.
Mhm.
And it's like, all right, boom, we whacked you, bitch. Like, you used an armored car, not valid. You used Sparrow, not valid. Like, why? What is enticing these people
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
99
Mhm.
and not follow the original rules? It's like, yes, we all know that GTA 6 is coming. That doesn't give you the license to
Right.
just go, okay, weapons free anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because that in itself is just a terrible mindset.
Yeah. Well, even just someone trying to pick up this game, like speaking for myself, trying because
Right,
I,
right, right.
just picked up online a few months ago. I played
Uh-huh.
story mode the whole last 13 years, but I never really picked up online mode. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
you come in here, you
I
can't even get started.
right. Like I did option C for ending. The canon ending as it's being told by Rockstar. I did ending A first because Trevor was being a little
That
bit
was gonna
annoying.
be my next question. Oh my god, you beat me to it. Who did you save? Who did you not save? Tell me about it.
I did not save Trevor.
Okay, we killed
I
Trevor.
did not.
Oh my
We
gosh.
killed
Okay, I was
Trevor.
dying to know. That was literally gonna be my last
I
question.
pretty much what I did was I stuck to 1% and I pretty much pulled out the AP pistol and just whacked his ass with the AP pistol, drove off. Just one
Okay.
manned him, drove off, and that was as Franklin, and kept him in the suit, and that was the end of it.
Now,
Um,
character-wise, why Trevor? Why did we
mm,
get rid of Trevor?
why did I get rid of him?
What was the
Well,
moral
Because
one,
he's a
dilemma
fucking
there?
weirdo.
Well,
well,
I mean,
Dante,
he
hold
is a
on, buddy.
weirdo, but that's also why I
He
love
is a
him.
weird. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo, but also too. You never, and this is one thing that I've been taught by Geo and Nex and the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
You never let anybody unhinged into your crew ever, because
Hmm.
they will
Okay. Okay.
screw up everything. Now, if they
Ah,
can
he's too
be,
much
if they can,
chaos.
right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if they can be easily swayed, like when I was growing up, I always thought Michael was a mob guy gone bad because of all the suits and stuff. When I was growing up, and
Right. Right.
when I first got it, I'm like, wait a minute,
Well, it's GTA.
he's
That's a fair assumption. You know.
I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing a Sammy the Bull,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Which,
He just
speaking
really
of which,
likes the
shout out,
movies, so he's emulating what he's seen in the
right.
movies. Yeah.
Hmm. Which, speaking of which, Sammy the Bull Regano actually follows my page, so thank you, Sammy.
Ah,
Um, so thank you, Sammy, because I always repost his content down the road, and he
I
always
love it.
pops up, likes it, and whatever. Only person I don't repost just to stay on the good side is Big Joe Gambino because who gives a shit. But another thing I was gonna say was I don't know if you've heard about this or not heard about this, but
Hmm.
this is a trend that's going on. Um, there's a trend where GTA Mafia crews,
Hmm.
will go onto Cameo and they will talk to different celebrities.
Oh,
And
interesting.
Gambino
Okay,
was
like they'll
famous.
hire a celebrity cameo.
Yeah, yeah, and the higher ups of these families will pay real life money,
Sure,
and they'll be like,
$100, $500, whatever it is.
yeah, whatever the case was,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll have this guy like, oh yeah, like I remember Lorenzo did this years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, he had some African American celebrity, I forget which one it was, but he's like, good job beating Fratiano, Gambino the best, da, 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 da,
Oh,
da.
to
And
get
I'm
their whack or
thinking,
whatever validated.
yeah, to get
Yeah.
it, and I'm
Okay.
like,
Okay.
you pushed him out and all this stuff. And then I remember another family did it with Michael Franzese, and I'm thinking, Mike's an actual mob guy, and he could probably get killed just for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I remember a friend of mine, Frankie Cerisi, shout out to Frank. Because he might be coming over to PlayStation or not. I don't know.
All
But
right.
but
Come,
Frank did it
friends.
with a Frank did it with a UK celebrity. I didn't know who he was.
Hmm.
And it's just like me personally, it's like the game's 13 years old. Why do you have to stoop to these lows? Another
Yeah,
thing,
that's a lot.
um, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Mob Era community has crew emblems on T-shirts. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't
Hmm.
be caught dead wearing a Marzoni Crest family T-shirt and walking around like, hey,
In
join
real
my
life.
crew. Yeah, because it'd be like, because I don't know if you've heard the story about this person, but I'm gonna drop it anyway.
Yeah, go for it. I
Gio,
love stories.
Gio Gigante, my mentor, right?
Hmm.
And I'll play the little audio clip if I can find it.
Hmm.
But one thing that he would do is one time he walked into a real life, I think it was Gambino Crime Family Social Club or
Hmm.
Genovese Crime Family Social Club. I forget which of the 5 families he ran into. He walked into their social club, said, "I'm Don Gio Gigante," and he got beat up pretty heavily.
Oh, well, that was a
And
choice.
he got beat up by the entire crew,
Oh my goodness.
and it was like he was bleeding all over the place and all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? And and then
It's taking it very far.
I heard about his racist remarks. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, because
Right.
when I knew him, it wasn't like that. Well, this
Mm-hmm.
is how Geo would sound.
All right, let's get this straight, all right? None of you clowns ever whack me, all right? You're all just saying that. You know I'm Mr. Untouchable. No one's gonna come after me. That's the truth. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes skill. You guys don't have that. So it's how. All right, let's get this
That's
straight, all
Geo.
right?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And Geo would do that sort of stuff, and he would just prod his enemies. And it's like, dude, that's the stupidest thing to do. You don't prod your enemies to go after you,
Yeah. I mean,
And
unless you're gonna cash
because
the check.
right. Because a lot of people, because I mean, people hate me, but I don't prod it. I don't
Yeah.
say to people, "Hey, come after me,"
Yeah, I'm
because
not an instigator like that either.
I'm
Hate
not
me
an
or love
instigator
me.
like
Yeah.
that. People, I remember when I first came around, people were like, "You're the chillest Don I ever worked for," and that's how I got the sobriquet, the Chill Don.
Hmm.
You know,
Or the Pope.
so well, yep, pretty much that too. That was self anointed because I was like, oh, I need a nickname. Let me that rhymes with Paul. Let me think. Oh yeah, Pope,
Right.
because I
It's
watched
an
Lansky.
alliteration.
So I was like, okay, boom. So pretty much, I will, before we end this interview, I will tad a little bit of a recruitment ad in here, but
Yes, plug.
I'll let you
You
do.
know what's next on my list? It's
I'll
like
let
you
you do
saw
your
my
intro.
notes.
I'll let you do your intro. Well, I did watch one of your interviews beforehand before doing this. So,
But yes, plug away, plug away.
all right. Well, ladies and gents, the Marzoni Famiglia is opening our books for 2026. As long as you're 18 plus and you're able to learn and play by 1% rules and dress the way that we dress, like with the mafia code and everything, you're more than welcome. You can hit up Dante, Alander, Tommy, or Bloodwolf Marzoni. We don't accept squeakers, so like I said earlier in the interview, so we don't we don't accept squeakers. So thing is that you know just if you join us, you'll be running as an associate for a while, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds fair to me.
And also, we do accept women as well. So if any chicks want to join up, feel
I love
free.
it.
Um, you know, um,
Equal
like I
opportunity
said,
employer.
it's or crew leader. But anyway, I get your point. Oh, but
No real money.
anyway,
No real income.
yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. That's what Mob Era does, and I don't really appreciate that. But
Right, right, right.
because Mob Era is like, oh yeah, we're gonna, we do the T-shirt shit, and it's like, ah, fuck. It's like, why are y'all doing this shit? But a little bit of words of wisdom after the fact here.
Yes, yes,
Um,
please.
like I said to all the other new dons, please focus on your crews. GTA 6 is coming, in November. I'm pretty sure. Focus on your crew, solidify them. Be loyal, hold the line with your guys, and also, just recruit in your age range.
I dig it.
Now, and also before you join this community, please, and I'm begging you, hands on, down on my knees, please watch a mafia documentary. It's not all the movies. It's not all movie stuff.
Yeah.
Watch a documentary, get some
Yes.
inspiration. I
Yes.
highly tout out A&E's Mobsters. You can get it on Amazon Prime, with commercials, sadly, but it's on the FYI stuff.
I'm sure
Please
there's a
watch the
Ken Burns on
seasons
PBS.
of those. There's no Ken Burns stuff.
No, Ken Burns didn't do a
No,
mafia.
no.
Missed opportunity.
That's Civil War. Another
Oh, I
thing,
know. Oh, I know.
another mafia documentary I would highly suggest watching is about a man named Richard Kuklinski. He was a hitman for the mob, and you can just watch all these documentaries in order. I think it starts with I believe the Gambinos, and it goes all the way down. I think that's in one of the seasons. But my hometown boss, Nicky Scarfo, is actually involved in that
Oh, nice.
as well. So.
Oh, I'm a documentary junkie. I've even made one before, so I'll take your list.
I
We'll post
want
it
to
in the
make
comments.
one. I want to make one, but I don't want to. I don't want to really rib off of Jimmy Nine Lives. So, so I'm gonna leave Jimmy to the oath and all that. Just leave that as is. I don't want to rib off the guy, but it was good. It was good getting interviewed by you, Renee, and I would like to work with your crew and
Thank
work
you.
with. So Dante, if you'd
Yo.
wait by the door. I know it's rendering's a bitch. But
jumped from the couch to off the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, was it Reeves? I think I inadvertently matched his suit with my pants. That was a nice happy accident.
That was Reeves.
I'm glad I chose this outfit. It seems like I was right on assignment.
Yeah, because our colors are black and gold, so.
Right.
To
be fair, I had put this outfit together, just had nowhere to wear it yet, so I thought I'd wear it here.
And there you go. And
all right, it was a pleasure. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
It was an awesome conversation.